Good day. We will talk about kids back to school and these are our group members. Our presentation will be divided into the following 5 parts. In this case, there are 2 investors. Based on their previous experience and the perception of strong demands of high-quality student housing in medicine, they decided to launch a property development of off-campus student housing near the University of Wisconsin's flagship campus. However, a more comprehensive feasibility analysis is required to determine whether the proposed property is an optimal choice for them. The increasing population of medicine and stable student enrollment indirectly approve the strong demand of student housing. However, the existing competitors such as on-campus housing, PhD program, and traditional apartment buildings do not perfectly meet the demands. The proposed property with a luxury design and great amenity shows an outstanding competitive advantage. The great property design and developer's previous experience will also contribute to the success of the project. The constraints mainly come from the natural barriers and the limited available lands occupied by existing properties. The time and monetary cost of land acquisition may increase due to the limited choice of land parcels. There are 2 decisions which should be paid attention to. Site location is the priority that developers need to consider. A proper location which is closer to campus and has easy transportation will attract more students and subsequently impact the rental income. Meanwhile, the cost of land acquisition, which is a huge investment, will directly influence the financial feasibility of the project. Doing well in site selection can provide a firm foundation of the property development. Then, the developers need to do a feasibility analysis. It's an effective financial due diligence before construction and can effectively help the developers to determine whether to accept the project. Facing with these undetermined decisions, Slater and Leonard should do more research and analysis. When it comes to site selection, the factors of the distance to campus, the access to transportation, and the sale price of the land should be considered during the due diligence. In the financial feasibility analysis, several methodologies are applied.
To determine the feasibility of the project, the first thing need to be considered is whether the available fund can support the total cost. So the break-even analysis is applied. When the supportable site acquisition cost is set as the cost at market price, the expected average rent price per room in months decreases nearly 8%. However, even though the rental price decreases 8%, the rent is still at a high level. In the respect of construction cost, we reasonably think the cost will increase because of the hard extent of construction and demolition. Holding other variables constant, the building cost per footage will raise $22 as a break-even point of acquisition cost. Therefore, the threshold of feasibility is not so optimistic as Slater and Leonard believed. Based on current assumption, the net present value is about $1.3 million. These assumptions are unreliable, and adjustment is required. Considering of the timeline, the NPV will decrease when the starting year of the project is deferred. Another critical factor is the rental income. The decrease of rent will give rise to the decline of the NPV. When the price of rent reduces 10%, the NPV will decline almost 60% compared to the NPV resulting from its previous rental price. Besides, the growth rate is considered. A small change in the growth rate will strongly affect the reversion value and net present value in the end. When the constant growth rate is 0, NPV would become very small even if other factors remain the same. Even worse, the going concern assumption may not hold. We still use capitalization rate to calculate net present value for verification. The outcome is different with the result of discounted cash flow methodology. As presented of analysis above, our recommendation is followed. It is not advisable to accept the income-producing project immediately, even though the net present value is positive. because there are plenty of uncertainties and risks, and other better programs might exist. If the investors, Seth and Leonard, accept the property, they could think about the sale or lease option in the following years. This is our presentation. Thank you.